the parts of you that you love and the parts of you that you're a little shy about. Even the parts that you want to hide altogether. All of you is wanted. The world is hungry for you. We were all taught to shape ourselves into a container, to limit our expression, to make us easier to parent, frankly, right? To make us easier to manage in a large group of kids in school. It's different now. You're ready to be seen as all of who you are, unapologetically, all the way. Visibility and authenticity are the truth of everyone's deepest desire. We all want to be seen and known as we actually are. And at the same time, we're all a little afraid of showing the truth of ourselves, because if we do, we might get hurt, we might get rejected. So it's a practice, it's a skill, it's a decision, it's a devotion to actually let ourselves be seen as we truly are, to let out all of it. Take out the stops. Some people will like it, some people will not, it's true. Take the risk. Let us see you. Strip. Get naked. And offer everything. Offer everything. Offer everything. To the vision that's flowing through you and you alone. No one else can do it. No one else can express it. No one else can say it. No one else can dance it, move it, teach it like you. You are what the world wants. You are being called. You are being beckoned. You are being welcomed. Get in here, all the way. Let yourself feel the relief of dropping the roles, dropping the baggage, dropping the programs, and discover on the other side that that process of releasing any pretense about who you actually are is the thing that will attract your clients. It is the same thing that will bring money into your business. Claim yourself all the way, day after day after day, and let us see you. Invite us in. As you are being called, call us.
Yeah.
Are.
So excited to share that video with you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Amazing to be with you all today. Happy Wednesday, happy love stream. You guys are queens, kings, royalty. Woo! Feel it. Feel it. Thank you, Rihanna. I think so too. So I'm super excited about what's coming through at this time. And you know, actually, before we even go in, I just want to take a moment and send prayers to all the people who are navigating the intensity of the fires. California, the whole West Coast is on fire. And it's really intense. I saw photos of San Francisco. It looks like some post-apocalyptic nightmare. So just shout out, love, extra healing to those folks. So, as y'all know, I'm constantly learning, constantly growing, right? Things are constantly changing as they do. And as I learn new things, my desire is to figure out how to teach them, how to share them. So my team asked me a few months ago, it couldn't have been that, yeah, it was 2 months ago probably, to start to talk about the financial successes that we're experiencing right now. And I just wasn't ready because it just felt like, what am I, like, we're doing good. Do we really want to talk about that? But it stuck in my mind because, of course, I think it's important to celebrate the success. I want to be the example. I want you guys to know what's possible. That was a huge part of what allowed me to create the success in my life that I have created, was seeing examples of what was possible that I didn't know before. It blew my mind. So I want to do that with you. But I needed to think through what's actually happening here, what's going on. And in the last week, the clarity just dropped in, kind of like, I have this image of like dominoes or something, like, you know? You guys know, the download thing. So here's what I've got. I'm sure that this is going to continue to evolve, but I want to share the success and what I'm learning and how this relates to you. So in July of 2020, during a pandemic, Jesse Johnson Coaching made over $240,000 in 1 month. We've never done that before. That was a huge success for us, huge win. And I thought I knew a lot of what we had done to create that. And I'm saying we very purposefully because I've got a huge and excellent team now. And the success that we experienced in July is about all of us. So there's a few things that we did that I now am very clear about as the cause of that financial result. And they are both, there's two distinct things, and they're both things that you can do immediately to create what you want. Does that sound good? You guys like to blow your own minds with how much wealth and impact you could have in September, October, November, December of 2020? Who's with me? Give me a little heart, little thumbs up. Give me, like, let me know you're here. Yeah, there we go. Instagram's telling me. Facebook, YouTube, you here? You hearing me? All right. So the first thing is that after years of struggling to choose, I know you guys know this struggle, I allowed myself to focus. And I want to give a shout out to my online business manager who has asked me and kind of demanded that I choose, that I focus. And I want to do 70 things. I mean, truly, if I made the list, there's 70 things for sure. In my business, okay? I'm not even talking about for fun, for like unrelated to my business. My business is also fun. I'm just talking about inside the business. There's so many things that I like to do, to create, to experiment with, to try, like so many things. And my online business manager, Tiffany Johnson, has been pretty relentless. Jesse, you need to choose 3. So at the beginning, about the beginning of every quarter, we have a kind of big zoom out meeting and talk about what it is that we each, not just me, but I'm the one that I have to struggle with, are going to focus on. What are the 3 things? And when I've been working with Tiffany for 1.5 years, coming up on 2 years, and she's asked me to do this multiple times, and I've always kind of like, yeah, sure. And in the meeting, I'll say, I'm going to do it, fine. But then I literally ignore it the rest of the time, right? That's the pattern. You guys know. This is like a little New Year's resolution, okay? That style of like, yeah, I'm doing those 3 things, and then completely falls out of my head. But I'm guessing it was March, April, somewhere in that time frame, when we had that meeting, I really committed. No, I'm really doing these 3 things. So it was the first time, this kind of summer quarter was the first time in my business that I have been truly focused on my tasks and only my tasks, and not fighting that, right? Like in the past, I was trying to focus. I was going through the motions of focusing, but I was fighting it on the inside. So even if I was only fighting it a little bit, I think that was really interfering. So I was like, okay, I'm doing the 3 things. And I'll just tell you right now, the 3 things were coaching, like fulfillment, actually serving my clients, sales, I'm currently the only person on my team that does sales and brings money into the business. So that has to be on my table, on my plate. And speaking, teaching, this, like what I'm doing right now, okay? But also podcast interviews, speaking on stages, virtual or physical, and the content creation that my team needs me for falls into that category as well. But guess what wasn't on the list? What wasn't on the list was writing a book, which I totally want to do. But I had to choose 3, not 4. And the book is a totally unrelated thing, so I had to take that off. And when I looked at that list, it was like, okay, I see this now. When is this ever going to change? Like, in order for these 3 things to shift and me to be able to put the book on my list of 3 things, I have to somehow give one or more of those other things to someone else. So am I going to hire a team of coaches? Am I going to hire a team of salespeople? Am I going to stop teaching and speaking? Like, these are the hard questions that business owners need to be asking, particularly if your business is your purpose, right? I think this is easier in some ways for people who run businesses that are more pragmatic. It's not, they're like, they could be doing the same thing in any business. But if your business is your passion, you're like, this is your personal expression coming through, it's so easy, I think, to do what I was doing and try to do it all and feel like you have to do it all and want to do it all and whatever. And you just spread yourself too thin. Tell me you know what I'm talking about. You guys with me? Who's done this? How many, give me the number. How many things do you think are on your current list? Conscious or unconscious, right? You're just opening yourself up, to be honest. I think that conversation was a new level of maturity in me to be willing to not only make the decision and commit, but look at what I wasn't going to do and be a yes to that also. The book is an interesting example because there's a lot of things that I'm not doing. This is the next part of what I'm going to talk about. There's a lot of things that I'm not doing that other people are doing, okay? And a lot of our conversations the last couple of weeks about team is why this is so relevant. But it's the book, no one else can do that, really. I mean, I shouldn't say that. Of course, you can get ghostwriters and all that stuff. There's lots of support that you can hire for a book. But you got to be involved, I think. Anyway, for my book, I got to be involved. So it's like making those hard decisions that not only am I not going to do it, but no one's going to do it right now. Like, we're not focusing on that. I think that right there is one of the things that entrepreneurs struggle with the most, because there's so many business-related, relevant, interesting, valuable tasks that you can work on in your business. But if you're doing too many of them, you will struggle. And if you're doing a bunch of them and they don't generate money, like writing a book is not money generating. If anything, writing a book is going to take an expense, right? Like, my hope is that the book that we're writing, because we will be a New York Times bestseller and it'll kill it and it will make sales. But like, even in that scenario, chances are the money that comes from the book is going to be relatively small compared to the rest of my business. That book is not going to provide for the business. The book hopefully will provide for itself. Okay? That's like kind of the best case scenario. So again, entrepreneurs like to focus on things that don't make money. I know that sounds crazy, but that's true. That's like most common experience. People come to me and they would just like, sales isn't on their plate and they don't have a sales team. So let me just like zoom out, pause for a second. Right now, you can choose what the 3 things are that you're going to focus on. One of them had better be sales. If a third of your time is not being spent on sales, Unless you have a sales team that's already making money for your business, you are literally shooting your business in its foot. I say this kind of thing all the time, but hopefully this perspective is giving the transmission to you in a new way. Radhika, you're not alone. Amity, I love this. 15 things. All right, Erica, thanks for letting me know. We'll see if we can get that back up and running. Dorte, yes. Jungle Maru, yes. Be-Live Coaching, yes. So, Jenna, welcome. So, looking at it like that, this was one of the big breakthroughs for me, was like, oh, I've been trying to keep the book on the to-do list, but now I'm seeing that the book will take away from this business making money right now. And if this business doesn't make money, there's not going to be an opportunity to write the book. Any business must make money, has to. So that's what creates the foundation and supports everything else thriving from there. Un momento. Take that in. All right. So, YouTube, let me know if you can see me again. If not, let me know that too. Rukmini Haribol, welcome. So, takeaways so far that I want you guys to be implementing immediately. 1, you got to choose your 3 things. And one of those things had better be sales. Okay? So probably if your business is a personal development, healing, spiritual education, artistic business, any of the above, you're doing sales, you're doing fulfillment or creation, right? Like Rukmini just came on, she's a beautiful artist. She's the one painting. That's definitely also got to be on the list, right? So Shrikala is a musician. Making music has got to be on there, okay? So sales, doing the thing that you do, and then probably the third thing has to do with some kind of networking, some kind of relationship building. It's not directly sales, it's not the fulfillment either. Some of you guys have seen, I did a training, this is probably a year and a half ago, where I talked about sales, networking, and fulfillment as the 3 pillars of any business. And I think that there's some truth to that. That's a simple framework, especially for startups. As you go on, of course, there's more things. Marketing, social media, finance, logistics and scheduling. I mean, there's many, many things kind of build into their own arm, okay? But if you can allow yourself to choose those 3 things and then get right with that, okay? So you're not battling yourself on the inside. That's the thing I want to reiterate that changed for me since the pandemic. Really, since the pandemic, I have stopped fighting only doing those 3 things. Knowing that that is in service to the business, knowing that that is in service to the big vision, which includes the book and everything else. That's uncomfortable. Those are the kind of like, quote, hard, it's not actually hard to make those decisions, but they feel uncomfortable. So you got to zoom out and get clear. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm focused on. So that was part 1. It's a big part, so we spent a long time talking about it. Choose your 3 things. Be totally in for those 3 things. Eliminate everything that isn't those 3 things from your calendar, from your activities, right? 2, for me, is my team. Since the pandemic, something has shifted that has had my whole team, like, kind of, it feels like we're all kind of like locked in. They're doing the same thing, right? They each have their 3 things, and they are getting more and more in alignment with those 3 things. And so not only am I getting better at delegating and letting them take those things on? They're getting better at owning those things, which means that I don't have to set the same boundaries on myself because I genuinely trust them to do it without me. Social media, content creation, marketing, logistics, scheduling, client support, like with, the online course, and making sure that clients have the technical things that they need. All that stuff taken care of. When they need me, they ask for something, generally takes 5 minutes. Like it's a very small thing. I trust their decisions. They're in jobs where they have to make decisions, and I am letting them make those decisions. So that piece dropped in just in this last couple of days, realizing that part of what's changed on my team is that I, not just on a conscious level, trust them, because I've always trusted my team on that level, but in my body, I trust them, that I don't have to go back and look over what they've done, that I don't have to micromanage them, that I don't even have to know what they're doing. My online business manager who manages them does, but I really don't, which then frees me up to do what? My 3 things. Note that one of those 3 things is not managing my team. That's another really important one. I hired someone to do that. And she's phenomenal at it, and it's fantastic. So all of this to say this, one of the general principles that I want to present to you guys today is that me being more me is both an inner job, which we'll talk about next, but it's also an outer one. And what I'm talking about right now is the external. That my team and me are collaborating to make it possible for Jessie to be the most full-on Jessie, the most focused Jessie, the most undiluted Jessie that I can be. And that underlying principle is connected to the fuck faking it retreat, right? Those of you that were here at the beginning, I showed this video. We've got some beautiful promotional videos coming out of me dancing on the sand and being amazing and just improvising and speaking about this truth, which is that the other thing that has happened in the last 6 months, it's always been happening, the whole business, but it's really come into, there's something clicking in the pandemic time, is me being more unapologetic about being me, and being more visible as me. Talking about politics, talking about racism, talking about coaching live, right? Coaching people in public. Usually that's the kind of thing that only happens in the privacy of my coaching containers. But in the last 6 months, we started to bring that out, to do that in public, to let people in behind the curtain. Behind the curtain emotionally, behind the curtain logistically, behind the curtain, removing the defenses. It's not about airing your laundry particularly. I'm not coming on here to process with you and get therapy from you, right? But I'm removing the walls, the barriers that would prevent you from seeing me. And the inner work is allowing me to see me, right? Recognizing one of the things I've learned during this pandemic is that I really don't, am not mad that I don't get to see anyone right now. Occasionally. But I'm so good. Somebody just commented, you have so many plants. I'm I know, I love the plants. I love the bunnies. I love Shri. I love being by myself. In my lifetime, I didn't know how much I liked that. I always knew those things, but the pandemic has created this space for me to see, oh, actually, this is who I am. That's always happening, right? I'm going to continue to have massive insights about the truth of who I am, just like you. It's not about a one and done thing. It's about a claiming the willingness to be yourself, to fuck faking it. I mean it. Fuck it. The world doesn't need any more of that. The world doesn't need it. Anything fake, people are allergic to. They recognize it. It's absolutely worthless to them. The only thing that you have of value, and it is of tremendous value, is the heart of you. You are a unique masterpiece, and you have a unique masterpiece to bring to the world. It is not only your work, but your responsibility to do that, to bring the truth of yourself out. So, and I'll share two things. So on Instagram, Anu Tillman, who I love you, I see you, I know we have a conversation going on. She just said a big heart, red heart, that you are louder you, including talking about politics. So just as an example, right? A concrete proof that what I'm saying is true, because here's Anu saying, yep, I love that you're being more vocal about this. Great. Cha-Cha in Bermuda. I have realized the same during the pandemic, but I am struggling to make moves to free myself from my previous self. That is why I'm not just talking about it on YouTube. We've created the new virtual retreat to give you some structured support to do this work. So what makes fuck faking it so significant in my mind is that it's explicitly focused on teaching you, like giving you some exercises and processes to go through this, to actually reveal yourself. You will have the opportunity to reveal yourself in the program and connect it to money. Okay? Because there's a lot of, anyone who's ever done any transformational work, any kind of therapy, anything like that, it's all about this. And let's talk about this too. When you let yourself be more visible, you will get haters. There's somebody on YouTube just said, Krishna does not exist, porn spirituality, Prabhupada was an opportunist. It's just like haters. I don't know why they're coming on right now, but okay, welcome. Like you can't, right? This is why most people don't want to go here. But here we are. Here we are. Not everybody has to like it. That's okay. I'm not even talking about Krishna and Prabhupada right now, but you don't have to like them. It's fine. I'm not here to sell you on that. I'm here to invite you into the most unconditional permission to be who you truly are and let everybody else know about it. To know that that is why you came. That's why you're here. That is what the world wants. And that making money from that place is easier. Kim just wrote, my truth was clouded by childhood trauma, but not anymore. Congratulations, that's a huge deal. That's the truth for everyone, right? Yes, Becca, making money from that place is easier. It is easier when you are not making an effort to do things that aren't your job to do. Whether it's concretely in your business, right? Doing more than those three things, or in your personal expression. Becca Kuntz, by the way, I just have to shout her out because Becca was one of my very first clients. She was a math teacher when she hired me. She bravely left New York City public schools, created an incredible business, and her social media is some of the most bold, brave, unapologetic, authentic nectar that I see. Like, I follow her because I love feeling the transmission of her freedom. So if you are not already following her, follow her now. She's freaking amazing. Her social content is amazing, and you will see she's the illustration of what I'm talking about. At Becca, B-E-C-C-A, Kuntz is her, actually, no, that's not true. Becca, tell me your handle. Is it Whole Body Love? I think it's Whole Body Love. Give me 1 second. IG, we got you. We got you. So, this is the final invitation. Becca Kuntz, so B-E-C-C-A-K-U-N-C-E is one, and Whole Love with Becca is the other. So study the truth of what I'm saying. Like, evaluate it for yourself. Find out, is what I'm saying true? K-U-N-C-E, not Z-E. Close. So, study it. Like, make this your practice to look, what's the truth of, like, is authenticity and visibility really the name of the game? Is fuck faking it really a good motto for me? Okay? If you find that the answer is yes, then I invite you to commit. Who are you really? Practically speaking, in your business, what's your job? What are the 3 things that you do? And emotionally, spiritually, creatively, even intellectually, in yourself, who are you really? In all areas, be more who you are, focus there, and everything else, drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Personal example, because Mila just said, I have so many duties and I'd love to simplify, but so much of what I'd love to clear is how I pay the bills. So, right, in your business, you got to choose at least one of those activities that you're focused on is sales, is making money. In your personal life, what I think this looks like is choosing that your identity is luxury or wealth or abundance or prosperity and making it clear what that is. This is not just a word. What does it look like, Mila, for you to move through your life with the opposite of this confusion, the opposite of this struggle, right? The old Mila struggles with money. True Mila, no struggle around money. That's the truth of all human beings. None of us are here to struggle with money. It's like air or water. We're not meant to struggle with those things. Sometimes we do, but that's not our birthright. So, Mila, come to the retreat. That's my first suggestion. October 1st and 2nd, we'll make sure that you guys have the link. We're actively promoting right now. It's going to be an amazing event. Fuck faking it. Okay? And everything that I'm talking about is the foundation. But in the 2 days that we're going to work together, it's going to be very experiential. I'm going to give you guys a bunch of exercises to do. Some of them will be internal. Some of them will be interactive. Some of that you'll have the opportunity to ask me questions and get coaching live and in real time. So now is early bird pricing. It's $297. I'm telling you right now, this is a steal. And regardless of whether or not that feels like the yes for you, commit to yourself. Commit to being you. Commit to you not being who you're not. And I'll say one more thing. Anu just wrote something else. You were on fire today. Well, thank you. I am being myself. This is the core of why I choose to let you brainwash me until I like the number on my bank account. So I want to speak to that, and then I'll let you guys go today. I recently interviewed David Nagel for the podcast and YouTube and everything. It'll come out soon. And great interview. He, of course, is amazing. He was my mentor and teacher for 4 years total. I worked with him privately for 3 years. And we talked in that interview, and it like opened my mind about this piece that Anu is naming, which is that I'll speak for myself. When I met David, I don't think I really knew who I was yet. But I still had an ego who was fighting to protect and defend the role that I was putting out into the world as who I was. Good daughter, good girl, professional, good spelling, whatever. And so while I was, my task while I coached with David was to learn who I was. And he wasn't telling me, right? He was not telling me who I was, but he was telling me what to do while I figured that out. And it was essential that while I was coaching with him, I did what he told me to do, because he knew what was going to work, and I really didn't. I would not say that that was brainwashing. I think that term is dangerous. That's not the direction that I want to lead anyone. I don't want anyone to surrender their foundations to me. And I can't force anybody to do anything, no matter how good my ideas are. But there is a science in being willing to surrender and trust someone else to guide you when you don't know where you're going. When you know, fantastic. Don't let anybody tell you what to do. But when you don't know, and more than that, when you know that you get triggered and go unconscious and get trapped in a lot of different ways, have someone help you. And know that you're giving them, like, thank you, Becca. You're giving them a slot of yourself to educate, to fill in the gaps so that you've got a really strong foundation. You're not giving your whole self. David didn't brainwash me. David taught me. David taught me how to think. He taught me how to know myself, how to recognize the truth of who I am. He taught me how to reason, how to recognize and discern my subconscious material from my conscious true self. Because that's another way of framing it. I was letting my subconscious run the show. My subconscious is a part of me, but it's not the full me. It's like the reptilian me. This is not who I am. This is not the wholeness of who I am. Excuse me. That was so true. I just had to sneeze. So, Anu, thank you for this comment. I hope this feels okay to you because I really appreciate you bringing this up. I want you to swap out that word. You're letting me teach you until you like the number on your bank account. Boom. Divine Heartfire, I love that. I feel like everything you just said should be made into song lyrics. Bless you. Well, it's fun because I'm writing a song right now, so maybe I'll do that. Dawn, I chose to follow his direction and I was able to choose to step away. That's the difference between brainwashing or not. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, guys, we could go on forever. Bless your whole lives. Bless everyone. Bless everything. I love you. We will be back on next Wednesday for the next love stream. And I want, just like lean in here for a second. If you feel resonant with what's coming up right now, just register for October 1st and 2nd. Do not wait. Do not think about it. That is giving your subconscious free reign to clog up the pipes. If you don't want to come, great. Don't force, nobody force yourself. But if you're feeling like, yeah, I want to do this, just say yes. Let it be easy. Link is in the link tree for those of you on Instagram. Link is in the chat for YouTube. We'll be promoting it, so you can find the link. You can go to the website and find the link. But just come. Give this to yourself. I will hold the container for you very, very well. All right, y'all. Brilliant, beautiful, excellent job. I'm going to play this because it's so beautiful. And if you didn't get to see it, then I want you to see it. So we'll close out with this stunning video that my team made for you.
The deepest truth of who you are is wanted. As you are, right now. The parts of you that you love and the parts of you that you're a little shy about. Even the parts that you want to hide altogether. All of you is wanted. The world is hungry for you. We were all taught to shape ourselves into a container, to limit our expression, to make us easier to parent, frankly, right? To make us easier to manage in a large group of kids in school. It's different now. You're ready to be seen as all of who you are, unapologetically, all the way. Visibility and authenticity are the truth of everyone's deepest desire. We all want to be seen and known as we actually are. And at the same time, we're all a little afraid of showing the truth of ourselves, because if we do, we might get hurt, we might get rejected. So it's a practice, it's a skill, it's a decision, it's a devotion to actually let ourselves be seen as we truly are, to let out all of it. Take out the stops. Some people will like it, some people will not. It's true. Take the risk. Let us see you. Strip. Get naked. And offer everything. Offer everything. Offer everything. To the vision that's flowing through you and you alone. No one else can do it. No one else can express it. No one else can say it. No one else can dance it, move it, teach it like you. You are what the world wants. You are being called. You are being beckoned. You are being welcomed. Get in here all the way. Let yourself feel the relief of dropping the roles, dropping the baggage, dropping the programs, and discover on the other side that that process of releasing any pretense about who you actually are is the thing that will attract your clients. It is the same thing that will bring money into your business. Claim yourself all the way. Day after day after day, and let us see you. Invite us in. As you are being called, call us.
Yeah. All right, bye, y'all. Thanks so much for being here. I'm so grateful. Let me know how we can help. You're awesome.